Bonjour, mes amis. I'm Bernard the Demon Fairy Snail, and welcome back. Before we begin, I would like to give a shout out to our Patreon supporters: Archie Stiff, Short Stack, and Cheryl Kincaid. Thank you so much. And please consider supporting us on Patreon. Link in the description below. Archie, The Married Life, 10th Anniversary, Issue number 6 of 6. Published by Archie Comics. This is the finale of the 6-issue miniseries by Michael Uslan and Dan Parent, which boldly explored the lives of Riverdale's iconic residents 15 years into the future. You know, after the main storyline of the classic comic books, but with a twist. In this series, we follow two parallel Earths, one where Archie Andrews married Veronica Lodge, and the other where he married Betty Cooper. In the universe where he married Veronica, it seemed that Archie was a bad father. He was always busy, he rarely had time for his children. And overall, life as a rich man living in Veronica's mansion and working for Veronica's father was very miserable. By contrast, in the universe where he married Betty Cooper, Betty and Archie had two children who were loving, and they were middle class, but they were very happy. On the surface, it seemed that Archie had the perfect life with Betty Cooper. However, he still had unresolved issues from when he was a teenager, mainly that he hadn't achieved his dream of being a musician. The antagonists of this story were surprisingly two characters I did not expect, namely Dilton Doily and the very obscure character Ambrose Pipes. Ambrose appeared in some very old comic books from Archie, where I think he was called Little Archie. And well, Ambrose hadn't been seen for many years, and so it was surprising for him to return as an adult and as a villain. Throughout this series, Ambrose launched a smear campaign against politician Moose Mason, mainly exposing the way that Mason had bullied him throughout their childhood. This didn't go well with the other characters, because by this point, Moose had grown up and he had matured and he was doing very good things. Moose was a good man, his bully days long over. Ambrose's revenge plot was also partly motivated by his crush for Moose's ex-girlfriend Midge, who was now Moose's friend. Dilton's motivations for being a villain and causing pretty much most of the conflict for both universes behind the scenes, it didn't really fit with this story that much. Rather contradictory, and they didn't really have a conclusion by the end of this issue. He pretty much served a purpose similar to the Monitor and Pariah in DC Comics' Crisis on Infinite Earths, in the sense that Dilton actually was the same character in both universes, because he had invented a DeLorean-esque car that could actually fly and travel between the two universes. It was weird. I mean, his motivation was pretty much that, he noticed that the universes were becoming too dark and unhappy, so he was causing trouble in order to make things better, I guess? I didn't get it. So by not having a resolution to that plot point, this series was not able to stand alone and actually ended on a cliffhanger, which is my main criticism of the book. I don't like the cliffhanger ending. It didn't resolve anything and pretty much seemed like sequel bait. Mitch finally confronted Ambrose and put him in his place, called him out for being so immature and possessive, and pretty much defended her ex Moose. It was actually rather nice for a change to see two ex-lovers who were friends and supported each other. In this issue, it seemed that the two parallel universe versions of Hiram Lodge were destined to either have a heart attack or die. In one universe, in previous issues, Veronica's father died, and that ended up making things worse for poor Archie. Whereas in the universe where Archie married Betty, Hiram Lodge was still alive, and he had a heart attack, which is what happened in this issue. He had a heart attack, but fortunately, Veronica was present during her father's heart attack, and she was able to save his life. And so he made it to the hospital on time. At the hospital, something very surprising happened. Something I didn't expect, and something that actually I'm very curious to see further develop. And that is the romance between Veronica and Moose. It happened a little late in the story, but basically Moose was there for Veronica when her father was in the ICU. And this made Veronica realize that Moose had always been a good friend, and that made her fall in love with him. Which is interesting because in the current and present and classic comics, Moose and Veronica were the two characters that you would never expect to hook up, because Moose's only love interest was Mitch. But as we learn in this series, Moose and Mitch, they didn't work out as adults. I actually like this better. I never approved of Archie dating Veronica because the relationship was always toxic. But Archie and Betty are perfect. I love the pairing of Archie and Betty. So having Moose dating Veronica is a nice pairing. I have to admire the character development that characters receive during this series, especially in this issue. For example, Archie, in the universe where he married Betty, he decided to ultimately give up his dream of being a world-famous musician in order to remain by the side of his beloved wife and his children. That was very noble, and ultimately, it was not a sacrifice that went unnoticed. Betty and Archie ended up forming their own business, and during their business, Archie will be able to reunite his band, the Archies, and they would continue to sing. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool and a very fitting compromise. Because in the end, Archie's lifelong dream was not entirely lost, it just transformed. Another character who received significant character development in both universes was Reggie Long. In the universe where Archie married Betty, Veronica was initially married to Reggie, but they got divorced because things didn't work out. And as I already mentioned, that ultimately led to Veronica getting together with Moose. That was another thing I really liked because personally, Reggie and Veronica, they're not good for each other. So them getting divorced actually makes perfect sense. And Moose always had a heart of gold, so Moose will actually be a good, what do you call it? A good foil. Moose would be a good character foil for Veronica. After Reggie's divorce to Veronica, Jughead helped Reggie realize that he needed to grow up and be a better person and not blame others for his own failures and problems. This was rather nice, and ultimately in this issue, it resulted in Reggie falling in love with Cheryl Blossom, who was an actress, a famous actress in this universe. In the other universe where Archie married Veronica, Reggie Long was also a good person and was very helpful to his friends. Overall, I enjoyed the first 5 issues immensely. It was just this issue, number 6, that seemed to fall flat on many forms, but it was mostly because the storyline of Dilton was very poorly executed and seemed like sequel bait, which I am not feeling encouraged to read whenever it comes out. I prefer stories that can stand on their own. Another criticism I have is the artwork of Dan Parent. I know Dan Parent's artwork is iconic to the Archie series. He has been illustrating Archie for decades. But sadly, at some points it seemed that he rushed through the artwork. Which is strange because in another miniseries that I read years ago, Dan Parent also illustrated, his artwork seemed to have evolved and was very detailed. Very much unlike this artwork. This style that he used for this miniseries seemed like a step back. I wish Dan Parent had done a better job. I was underwhelmed by the artwork. Story-wise, Michael Osland's heart was in the right place. This story combined the better traits of the characters and took the stories in very interesting places. This series had potential for greatness, and although at the end it didn't fully achieve that potential, during the first 5 issues it garnered significant merits, and I appreciate that. Its flaws, this book was still more enjoyable to me, and I prefer this series over the awful Riverdale TV show at the CW. I was initially going to give it a slime rating, but after giving it some thought, I was very satisfied by the happy endings that many characters got. So, my new final rating is Menchit. Thank you for watching. See you next time.